A fierce storm is brewing in the world of media regulation. Should the government step in when a late-night host makes a controversial claim? Or does that cross the line into censorship? This question is front and center after FCC Chairman Brendan Carr warned ABC about remarks made by Jimmy Kimmel regarding Charlie Kirk's tragic murder. But here's where things get heated. Kimmel, during his ABC monologue, implied that Kirk's alleged killer was part of the MAGA gang, trying to gain political leverage from the crime. In reality, law enforcement statements indicate that suspect Tyler Robinson is associated with leftist views. Carr's response came during an appearance on Benny Johnson's podcast, where he openly suggested the FCC has tools at its disposal to address the situation. "We can do this the easy way or the hard way," Carr declared, hinting that ABC should consider sanctioning Kimmel. Or the FCC might take further regulatory steps. Representatives for ABC and Jimmy Kimmel Live have so far remained silent, declining to comment on this escalating controversy. The controversy stems from Kimmel's Monday night monologue. He referenced attempts by some in the MAGA community to distance themselves from Robinson, the suspect, despite news reports highlighting Robinson's progressive ideology. Kimmel criticized the politicization of the killing, arguing that the MAGA movement was trying to spin the narrative for political gain. But here's the part most people miss. Conservative media quickly pushed back, accusing Kimmel of misleading the public, with Fox News pundit Greg Gutfeld openly claiming Kimmel is out of touch, and warning of serious consequences unless he clarifies his statements. Carr, meanwhile, argues that such statements represent some of the sickest conduct possible and accuses media figures of deliberately trying to mislead Americans about a highly publicized event. He openly urged Disney, ABC's parent company, to hold Kimmel accountable, even suggesting possible suspension. Carr floated the idea that local broadcasters might refuse to air Kimmel's show unless the network addresses the matter, saying, "It's time for them to step up and say this garbage isn't what serves our local communities." But here's where it gets controversial. Carr even suggested wielding FCC power to investigate alleged news distortions and hoaxes, referencing previous high-profile examples like coverage of Hunter Biden's laptop, debates about President Biden's health, and the Jussie Smollett case. This evokes a deeper debate. Should regulatory authorities have the power to judge what counts as a hoax or distorted coverage? Or does this threaten free speech? Adding another dimension, the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, FIRE, quickly weighed in. FIRE's Tech Policy Counsel, Ari Cohn, argued that the FCC simply doesn't have jurisdiction over what a late-night host says, citing First Amendment protections. Subjecting broadcasters to liability for on-air mistakes would turn the FCC into the ultimate truth police and chill open discussion, Cohn warned. Kimmel, on the other hand, recently used his social platforms to call for unity in response to Kirk's death, urging an end to angry finger-pointing. He pleaded for empathy, asking, "Can we just for one day agree that it is horrible and monstrous to shoot another human?" This call for calm comes in stark contrast to the whirlwind of accusations and regulatory threats. And here's something to ponder. Is this just another skirmish in a larger battle between government and broadcast media over fair representation? Carr himself has previously suggested on Fox News that certain ABC programs could be in trouble, hinting at future consequences tied to their editorial decisions if tensions remain unresolved. So now, the big question is, should the FCC take steps against broadcasters over contentious comments? Or is this an unacceptable risk to freedom of speech? Where do you draw the line between protecting the public interest and stifling honest political debate? Is it really up to government regulators to decide when someone has crossed the line on TV? Or is that the kind of censorship we should all be worried about? We want to hear your thoughts. Is Carr's warning an overdue push for media accountability, or a dangerous step toward censorship? Are networks like ABC responsible for policing their hosts, or is the risk of government overreach too great? Share your perspective, whether you agree, disagree, or see both sides, down in the comments. Let the debate begin.